Today is October 5th. It's the 279th day of the year, and this is the On This Day podcast. Born on this day in 1902, businessman Ray Kroc, best known for creating the behemoth franchise that is McDonald's. Kroc is born in Oak Park, Illinois. When the U.S. gets involved in World War I, Kroc lies about his age to take part in the fight. At age 15, he begins training in Connecticut as a Red Cross ambulance driver, alongside a young Walt Disney, who will also go on to create a behemoth franchise of another kind. But before Kroc can ship off to France, the war ends. Ray Kroc picks up work playing piano at night on a radio station, and then in 1922, he lands a second job selling paper cups for the Lily Tulip Cup Company. One of his biggest customers is a fellow who's invented a 5-spindle multi-mixer. Kroc sees great potential in the milkshake mixer and obtains exclusive marketing rights to the machine from the inventor. He travels the country selling multi-mixers for nearly 2 decades, until he meets 2 brothers who run a successful burger joint in San Bernardino, California. Most of his mixer customers buy 1 or 2 mixers. Each can mix 5 milkshakes at the same time. The San Bernardino restaurant orders 8 mixers, so they can mix as many as 40 shakes at a time. Kroc's curiosity is piqued, and he visits the McDonald Brothers restaurant for the first time in 1954. What he sees there amazes him. It's a clean restaurant with a basic menu of burgers, fries, and shakes, made in an assembly line manner, each burger taking less than 60 seconds to make, and served in paper products with plastic utensils to lines of people that stretch out the door. As Kroc writes in his autobiography, it's the most amazing merchandising operation he's ever seen. Right away, he sees the potential in the effective and efficient operation. He has visions of stores identical to this one all across the country. Ray Kroc is 52, and he's not in the best of health, but he is filled with a sense of optimism. Quote, "I had diabetes and incipient arthritis. I'd lost my gallbladder and most of my thyroid gland in earlier campaigns, but I was convinced that the best was ahead of me." Kroc pitches the McDonald brothers on the idea of opening up several more restaurants modeled after their San Bernardino shop. The brothers are interested in the idea, but they're not interested in the idea of running more locations. Kroc tells them he'll take care of it. He opens his first franchise location in Des Plaines, Illinois, where he experiments with the elements of the franchise to refine its template to perfection. He automates every step of the service process, deciding on the proper number of pickle slices to be placed on each burger, the proper size of each burger, the optimum dollop of ketchup to be served on the side, and he builds a research and development lab to craft the perfect French fry. Throughout the late 1950s, he sells nearly 100 franchises, selling individual store franchises rather than a whole territory, in order to maintain control over the brand. By 1960, McDonald's is bringing in $75 million in sales annually. The only problem is, there's no profit in that. And the McDonald brothers are starting to sell franchises on the side, outside the purview of the quality control freak Kroc. So in 1961, he secures a loan and buys the McDonald brothers out for $2.7 million, giving each brother $1 million after income tax. And in return, Kroc gets the business, the franchise, and most importantly, the name McDonald's. However, he's still not making any money on the business. But a McDonald's subsidiary he starts in 1956 is beginning to pay off. Kroc sets up the Franchise Realty Corporation to buy up tracts of land in future suburbias, which he then leases to new franchise owners, generating additional revenue for McDonald's through lease payments to the Franchise Realty Corporation, on top of the franchise royalties earned from the restaurant itself. And as landlord, Kroc is able to exert even more stringent control over the look and layout of each store, ensuring customers the exact same experience in any store anywhere in the country. McDonald's sells more than 1 billion hamburgers in less than 10 years since Kroc first walks into the McDonald Brothers San Bernardino store. In 1963, around the same time as the 1,000th burger is sold and the 500th McDonald's opens, a group of local franchisees in Washington, D.C. hires a local TV personality to create a clown character to help promote their stores. The character Ronald McDonald is created and first portrayed by Willard Scott, who later comes to fame as the weatherman on The Today Show. By 1965, McDonald's is making a tidy profit, so Kroc takes the company public and uses the cash infusion to expand his reach further. He steps down as CEO in 1968 and retires altogether in 1974, by which time McDonald's has sold over 12 billion hamburgers. Some retirees take up golf. Ray Kroc takes up baseball. He buys the San Diego Padres, taking ownership in 1974. He owns the team until his death in 1984 at the age of 81. The same year, McDonald's sells its 50 billionth hamburger in one of its 7,500 stores around the world. The franchise monster unleashed by Ray Kroc, born on this day in 1902, stops counting how many hamburgers it sold in 1994, when they reached 99 billion burgers sold. Since McDonald's now sells approximately 75 hamburgers a second, it's very likely they've topped 300 billion burgers sold by now. That's a lot of meat. Between HQ and the franchises, McDonald's employs almost 2 million people in over 36,000 stores all around the world, sitting on top of $18 billion worth of real estate. There are 87 days left in the year. On This Day is produced by me, Dave Schultz. Thank you very much for listening. Hope you enjoyed today's episode. I did. Born on this day in 1959, architect and sculptor Maya Lin, best known for designing the Vietnam Veterans Memorial in Washington, D.C. She is 21 years old when her design for a V-shaped black stone that cuts like a scar across the ground wins the 1981 public competition for a memorial in our nation's capital, dedicated to the fallen veterans. So if you're still listening, if you got time to lean, you got time to clean. Talk to you tomorrow.